As you're planning to come abroad, you still have to be careful the kind of job you do in this abroad, so that in future you don't end up regretting it. Welcome back. So if this is your first time of seeing my face, hello, my name is Nurse Julia Iseji. Do well to subscribe to this channel and also turn on the notification bell so you get notified when I upload new video. In this video, I'm going to be listing 5 jobs, even if it's Europe, US, Canada, or UK. Please run away from this job. So number 1 on the list, exchange of money or exchanging of money. Yes, guys, be very careful involving into exchange of money. A lot of friends that I know have landed themselves huge mess exchanging money. Remember, if you want to go into money exchange, you can register. Yeah, there are government body in charge of registering foreigners that want to do business. So this is under the business class. But if you want to do it on a low key, please, that is where the trouble comes in, because I've had friends in Germany and also in Poland that have landed themselves in huge mess. There are some things that we Africans do here in abroad, not just only Africans, other country, other nationals also do that. Like, you may have your local currency. Let me use my friend in Germany for instance, and you needed euro and you have naira back home. Then you now meet a friend like, okay, if you need euro, I can lend you euro, I can give you euro, whichever way you call it. I can give you euro, exchange euro, or lend you euro. Then while in return, you can send me the naira you have back home. So that is where the problem comes in. Most people end up getting this foreign currency from people that their account has been flagged for fraud cases. So you won't know. And sometimes when these accounts are being flagged, they monitor transactions in the account, where it goes and comes in. That person that the account has been flagged may not be informed that such investigation is going on. They just want to like trap in more people. And at the end of the day, irrespective of the amount you receive from this person, even if it's as small as 20 euro, you land yourself into trouble. And if you feel like money exchange is a business you want to do, I would advise you to register. If you don't want to register as official money exchanger, about you try to like be careful. You know what I mean? So this is a kind of business that I advise anybody traveling abroad to stay away. Don't get yourself involved in such thing. Like a friend of mine that experienced in Germany, she has to hire a lawyer and she paid the lawyer 800 euro for something worth 100 euro. And the cases of the issues of going to court here and there, and there is already a criminal record on that person's name. So if the person happens to like want to travel to other country, they are going to check the person's record and find out the person had a previous case. And also have a friend here in Poland. She spent like more than 12,000 zloty on court cases going back and forth, and this thing took like 8 months. So you can see the trouble involved. So just be very careful. If you want to like lend foreign currency from someone, or you want to, let me put it that way, you all know what I mean. Make sure you verify the person, and to be on the safer side, the person should just give you cash. Save yourself the headache. Yeah, because sometimes this investigator, they may not trap you immediately. It may take them like a year, 2 years before they come through, nail the person down. So just be very careful of this so that you don't mess up your future. So let's move to the second job that you should not do in abroad. The second job you should not do in abroad is working in cold room. Yes, you heard me right. Working in cold room is very dangerous for your health. Fine, I know the company may cover, there may be some insurance package that may cover you for in terms of like any accident or maybe unforeseen circumstances that come up in between. But what happens when you leave the job? What about if it comes in future? Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Maybe probably you worked in that cold room for like a year. What happens? So definitely that insurance you had while working there may not be able to cover you. Working in cold room can give you arthritis. The last time I went to Germany to see my friend, so she told me of a particular of her uncle that had been in Germany for like a long time. So her uncle, he worked in a co-room for like 5 years. So her uncle is like in his late 50s and he's not working properly. Like he had severe arthritis. When I mean severe arthritis, not like they had arthritis in the family. And you know, sometimes the contract you sign may not be able to cover you to come claim benefits. Unlike in health sector, where like I can work, I can be like, for instance, I'm a nurse working in an hospital. I mean, I've had 1 or 2 cases where trying to inject a patient and a needle pricked my hand. I will report it that social accident happened. I needle pricked my hand. So maybe the patient had something particular illness that may not surface immediately. It may surface like maybe 10, 15 years or 8 years later. Probably I'm no longer working in that hospital. That is the essence of reporting. So there is this claim. You can always come back to claim it. That's such a protection cover those working in the medical field, but those working in other sectors, it's really don't cover you. Those protection covers you the period you're working in that company. So that is why I always advise run away from co-room. Some people may be lucky, they will work there for a long time and still their health is still perfect, but you never can tell yours. So just try to avoid such job. I can understand there may be a situation where getting job can be so difficult. Maybe situation only presents such job for you. You may risk it because instead of you going to beg or steal, you do it. But don't do it for more than a year. While you're doing the such job, try to look for a better job because your health is your priority. Good health is wealth. Take note of that. So let's move on to number 3. Number 3, do not work where they produce chemicals, like where they produce paints, harsh chemicals, because most times they will tell you these chemicals are eco-friendly. Most times they will give you some preventive measure to prevent you from contaminating, inhaling those chemicals that may be dangerous to your health. But still, those preventive measure is not 100% protecting you. So you need to protect yourself. Another thing is your health. There are some underlying ailments that we may not know. There are some sickness that we have that we may not know, but 1 or 2 things may just make it to like surface immediately. I will be like, when did this happen? This is not in my family. How did it come about? So such working in a place where they produce chemicals like harsh chemicals can be carcinogenic. It can cause cancer, not in all cases, but most time it causes cancer. Even though they tell you it's eco-friendly, just run away from it, because the protection they're going to give you, the insurance health protections they're going to give to you, covers you for that period you're working in that company. What happens when you leave the company? Because most times all these things we do to ourselves, it doesn't surface immediately. It may just come up in the next 5, 6, 10, 15 years to come, and when such protection is still not covering you. So what you're going to do then, you end up spending money treating something that the money you made from there could not even cover up for all the hospital bills and everything. So now let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is do not work where you need to lift too much heavy items. Yes, I can understand sometimes you may work where you need to lift like 5 kg, 10 kg. That is for guys, men. But anything more than 10 kg is just too heavy. And if you're going to work in such places, make sure you have colleagues that you guys will lift it up together, because your spinal cord is very important too. Pray not to have spinal cord problem, because if you have it, your life will be disorganized. Like everything around you will just turn upside down. Yes, because I work in the I'm a student nurse, you all know that, and I know what patient experiences spinal problem. I know what they go through, so it's not really something you should experience. So places that you get to work where you need to lift things are like Impost, DHL, there's one they call DPD, all those are like Zalando. Those places that you need to lift something very heavy, something more than 10 kg is just way too heavy for you. Well, it all depends depend on individual. Some guys can lift something of 15 kg. For me, anything more than 5 kg, I'm not lifting it. Yes, I am not lifting it. I need someone to help me to lift it. So you look at yourself, what can you lift? Do you have back pain? I usually don't have back pain, but I just don't want to develop back pain. That is why I'm avoiding lifting something too heavy, because I want to enjoy my 70s, 80s. If you go to the hospital, you see what most people in their 70s, 60s, 80s, what they are going through. Don't pray to be in that situation. So that is why you need to take care of yourself while you're young. It's not all about money. What happens when you're in your late 60s? So how you take care of yourself while you're young determines how your later age will look like. So now let's jump on to the last on the list. Number 5. Do not work where they tell you to do fundraising. Yes. So let me use for instance in Nigeria, Africa precisely, they will tell you is marketing, reaching out to customer. But here in abroad, there's a way they kind of like two sheets to make it sound so good. They tell you fundraising. Sometimes they may tell you like, is it B2B, something like business to business, and trying to get customer. There are different ways they package it depending on the company. They have different ways of packaging it, and the payment is very, very enticing. I'm not saying this job is a bad job, but sometimes it's always perfect the citizens in that country, people that have been in that country for like many years, for more than not 5 years, 6 years, someone that have been in that country for like more than 10 years. You've integrated into the system very well, and you know like so many people. So it's going to work out for you to work where you do this marketing, fundraising, and the rest, so that when you try to approach people, they'll be able to like listen to you. Okay, imagine telling a German in Nigeria to go do marketing, and when you tell in Nigerians to go out there to market a product, so the Nigerian person will be able to like reach out to the locals and be able to like convince you to buy. But the German cannot function very well in that situation. So that, let's just bring that scenario here in abroad. So let me say, for instance, you're in US. It can be a bit easier in US because there are so many black. Let me use, for instance, this affect people mainly in a country where they have more of white people. So you'll find it difficult like to function very well in such job, and most of the time, 99% of the time, your performance depend on your take home. So your salary, if you don't perform to expectation, you will not get a good salary, and that will make you depressed, because it's more like you wake up every morning, go out there and do blah blah blah, come back and nothing. You go at the end of the month, they kind of look at your track record and say this month you've not performed very well, and it's very, very depressing. So run away from such job. Make sure you look at the description of the job before you accept it. They kind of like come with so many juicy kind of offer. I think I saw one job advert on Facebook. I tried to apply, and the guy told me that is I think he said I will need to my performance, I'll be paid based on my performance, that they are into currency, something like that. That's how he put it. They're into currency, that there's no basic salary. It depends on my outcome. My performance at the end of the month will now determine how much will be my take home. I'll be like, wait, so no salary for me? Like, I didn't know what to say. What I just did was I said okay. I just said I wrote okay, thank you, and I ended the conversation that way. So you have to be careful. Don't be so desperate to go for a job and take up such job offer. It can be very, very crazy. Even those working in the bank, they have targets. Let me put it that way, they will give you targets. So if you cannot meet up even 20% of your target, even if you meet 70% of the target, most of these people will just kick your ass out, and you end up wasting your time for the whole month. So that is why I made a video of you learning special skills. When you learn skills, it helps you not to be like too much in pressure to look for a job. You will just use your soft skills you have to like get a passive income pending when you get a job. And I also advise those traveling abroad, make sure you have your upkeep for at least 6 months. If you cannot afford 6 months, what about 4 months? 4 months is okay. If you have your rent for 4 months, your rent, your feeding for 4 months, then most of the time, most people abroad, we trek a lot. You can trek 3 stops, 4 stops. I know of someone that trekked up to 6 stops. Yes. Yeah, so you trek, walk, some distance to cut costs for paying bus. Like me personally, I walk like, once my going to somewhere is 2 stops, I take a walk. I don't take bus, I take a walk. But if it's more than 2 stops, I end up taking bus, going through the bus. So that is why I always advise people, plan very well before you come abroad, so that you don't end up being under pressure, taking just any job that you see out there, or trying to do things to survive, trying to do money exchange, this and that. That can land you to trouble that will make them to send you back home. So avoid anything that involve police, avoid anything that involve the law, and also make sure you prepare very well, plan very well. If you can get your accommodation for 4 months, what's come to worst, 2 months you're home, you've not gotten job, at most 3 months, the 4th month definitely you'll get something and you'll be up on your feet. So guys, that is my video for today. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have a video of skills, soft skills that you can learn that will help you to get passive income, to earn passive income. I'll drop the video in the description section and also leave it in the card here so you can check it out. Watch the video. I think I listed up to like 10 skills you can do, and those skills are very, very lucrative in abroad, anywhere you decide to go, be it Asia, be it in Europe, be it in the West. It's going to fetch you good money. And remember what I said in that video, being master of what you know how to do makes you stand out from the crowd, makes people want to come from afar to patronize you. So guys, so this brings us to the conclusion of this video, and I hope you love this video. If at this time you've not yet subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Ejo, maybe no, biko no, subscribe, like, share this video. I'll see you in my next video.